Before it was called Texas, this was a vast, untamed land, a place not yet marked on any map. Endless grasslands, ceaseless winds, and the first footsteps belonged to the native peoples, those who lived with nature, not above it. From the Caddo and Comanche to the Apache, they were the first soul of Texas. They built enduring cultures, leaving their mark in every river, every field, and every story passed down through the generations. In the 16th century, Spanish explorers arrived with crosses, uncertain maps, and dreams of conquest. The collision of two worlds began a new chapter, not just for Texas, but for all of the Americas. Texas became a land contested by empires, Spain, France, Mexico, and eventually the United States. Each flag that flew over Texas left a mark in language, in architecture, in war, and in hope. In 1836, Texans declared independence from Mexico. The Battle of the Alamo became a symbol, not just of tragedy, but of unshaken courage. From the ashes, a new nation rose, the Republic of Texas. Just 9 years later, Texas joined the United States, carrying the pride of a once independent nation. But that was just the beginning of a long journey, one that would turn Texas into a legend of the American South. Before Houston existed, this was a vast stretch of swampland, thick with tangled trees and crawling with reptiles. No one imagined a city could rise here. But the harshness attracted bold pioneers, those daring enough to start from nothing. In 1836, brothers Augustus and John Allen, merchants from New York, saw potential in Buffalo Bayou. They bought land for just a few $1,000s and dreamed of a bustling trade city. Not everyone believed in them, but they believed in themselves. To honor General Sam Houston, the hero of the Battle of San Jacinto, who helped win Texas its independence, they named the city Houston. It wasn't just a name, it was a symbol of courage and the longing for freedom. Houston then was just a handful of wooden huts, no roads, no docks. When it rained, it flooded. Mosquitoes were everywhere, but people stayed. They built, bit by bit, laying the very first foundations of what would come. Floods came, bringing disease and destruction. Many left Houston, but those who stayed learned to survive. They built homes on higher ground and turned danger into wisdom. That was the start of Houston's resilience. By the mid-19th century, the railroad arrived and Houston awakened. Trains carried goods, people, and opportunity, transforming the area into a thriving trade center. The city was no longer just a dream. It had come alive. In 1901, when the Spindletop oil gusher erupted nearby, Houston instantly became an energy hub. New buildings rose, banks opened, oil companies arrived. A new chapter, one of power and prosperity, had begun. From an overlooked swamp, Houston grew into the fourth largest city in the U.S. From its early days, it has always symbolized ambition, grit, and endless growth. And the Houston dream, it's far from over. Before maps named it, this was untamed prairie, waist-high grass, roaming bison herds, and home to the Caddo people. No one imagined a thriving town would rise in the heart of North Texas. In 1846, Denton County was founded, named after John B. Denton, a preacher, lawyer, and soldier who died in battle. Though he never lived here, his name would carry the spirit of the land. In 1857, the town of Denton was officially established, placed near the county's center for easier access. The first wooden homes, churches, and blacksmith shops appeared. Modest, but full of pro. Without a railroad or a major river, Denton grew slower than other cities. But its people were resilient, living off farming, ranching, and strong community ties. By 1881, the Gulf, Colorado, and Santa Fe Railway reached Denton. It was a turning point, connecting the town to the world, bringing merchants, settlers, and new hope. Denton became unique when two universities were founded, the University of North Texas and Texas Woman's University. This small town quickly became an academic heart of the region. Since the mid-20th century, Denton rose as a center for independent music. Jazz, rock, folk, all thrived, fueled by the creativity of students and local artists. Today, Denton is a vibrant mix of history, education, and the arts. A city that's both timeless and modern, proudly holding on to its identity amidst Texas's rapid growth. Before becoming a city, McAllen was a wild land on the edge of the Mexican border. Dirt roads, cattle trails, and smuggler outposts dotted the brush-covered plains. Only the brave dared to settle here. In the late 1800s, farmers, traders, and former soldiers began arriving. Among them was John McAllen, whose name the city would later carry. He owned one of the largest ranches in the region. In 1904, the St. Louis, Brownsville, and Mexico Railroad reached the area. A small settlement grew along the tracks, and by 1905, the name McAllen was officially adopted. McAllen sat in the heart of the Rio Grande Valley, one of the most fertile areas in Texas. Oranges, grapefruit, limes, agriculture became the backbone of the economy, drawing thousands of workers and merchants. As a border city, McAllen has always been a cultural crossroads. Spanish echoes in the markets, Mexican cuisine fills the air, and the spirit of dos culturas, two cultures, lives on daily. Since the mid-20th century, McAllen has grown rapidly thanks to trade, and cross-border commerce. Shopping centers, hospitals, and schools rose up, turning the city into a Rio Grande regional hub. McAllen's climate is harsh, hot, and dry, but it gives local crops their unique flavor. Residents adapted, from irrigation innovations to tapping into solar energy as a new frontier. Today, McAllen is vibrant, multicultural, and thriving. From its agricultural roots, it has grown into a center of commerce, culture, and education, bridging two nations. Before Lake Austin existed, this was simply a stretch of the rushing Colorado River. Floods destroyed everything in their path, while dry seasons left cracked earth. The people of Austin lived in fear of nature's unpredictable force. In the 1930s, Texas faced drought, crop failures, and economic despair. The government decided to tame the river to protect its people, and a chain of reservoirs was planned. In 1939, the Tom Miller Dam was completed, holding back the Colorado River and forming Lake Austin. This man-made lake brought water, flood control, and hydroelectric power, a project built for the future. Unlike many man-made lakes, Lake Austin runs right through the Texas capital. Bridges, roads, and homes sit close to its shore, creating a rare and stunning urban waterfront. Originally built for river control, Lake Austin quickly became a haven for relaxation, kayaking, water skiing, fishing. From function to fun, the lake evolved into a beloved escape. With scenic views and cool, calm waters, Lake Austin became prime real estate. Luxury homes sprang up along its banks, drawing musicians, entrepreneurs, and artists seeking beauty and peace. To keep Lake Austin clean, locals and the city joined efforts, regulating development, protecting wildlife, and limiting water traffic. Growth, but with care and respect. Today, Lake Austin symbolizes the balance between nature and city life. It's not just a place to relax, it's the ecological heart of the city, where nature and people coexist. Before the sun appears, Nueces Bay is veiled in a soft morning mist. Birds call above the pale sky, and the water moves in gentle ripples. A slow beginning, but full of quiet poetry. Nueces Bay is where river meets sea, where fresh water blends with salt. Here, life thrives. Seagrass, migrating birds, and redfish all find sanctuary in this fertile mix. No traffic, no alarms, just the soft splash of waves, wind brushing the bay, and wings slicing through the sky. Nueces Bay is where you can hear yourself, through nature's voice. Along the bay, you'll find fishermen casting nets, children playing in the sand, and modest homes facing the water. It's not loud, but peaceful, a quiet snapshot of bay life. It's for those seeking untouched beauty, still unshaped by human hands. Galveston, the island along the Gulf of Mexico, has long been Texas's gateway to the sea. The first ships brought more than cargo. They carried hope, beginnings, and the American dream. In the late 1800s, Galveston was the wealthiest city in Texas. Cobblestone streets, Victorian mansions, grand banks and theaters made it sparkle, like a southern version of Paris. In 1900, Galveston was struck by the deadliest natural disaster in U.S. history. Over 6,000 lives were lost. But from the rubble, the people rebuilt with faith and fierce determination. Walk through the Strand district and you step into the past. Each building holds a memory, an old cafe, a printing shop, a seafood market. Galveston keeps its history like it keeps breath. Galveston is inseparable from the ocean. Long beaches, gentle waves, and salty sea air make this place a perfect haven for locals and travelers alike. In the afternoon, Galveston Pier comes alive with laughter. Kids play, adults fish, and the Ferris wheel spins slowly, painting a vibrant, gentle portrait of coastal Texas life. Galveston is a crossroads of culture. German, Italian, Mexican, and African-American communities have all left their mark. Festivals, street music, and museums give this small city a global spirit. Today, Galveston blends history, ocean, and energy. Though once broken, the city has risen, gentle, proud, and always open to those seeking peace by the sea. Right in the heart of Houston, Bear Creek Park feels like a hidden forest tucked into the city. Step inside and you'll hear birdsong, rustling leaves, and suddenly the city fades away. Winding trails curve through oak trees, tall pines, and native brush. Whether walking, biking, or simply letting your mind drift, this park offers a rare kind of peace. You might spot deer, squirrels, rabbits, even peacocks and horses at the park's small wildlife preserve. Here, nature doesn't hide, it lives right beside you. A quiet pond sits calmly in the park, where ducks glide and the sky reflects on the surface. It's the perfect place to read, meditate, or simply watch time slow down. Bear Creek Park is a weekend tradition. Children playing, parents picnicking, grandparents strolling. This space weaves quiet, timeless moments between generations. From soccer fields to baseball diamonds and running trails, the park pulses with energy. Cheers, bouncing balls, and team spirit add rhythm to Bear Creek's calm. In fall, leaves blaze in gold, orange, and red. In spring, wildflowers bloom and migratory birds return. Bear Creek Park changes with the seasons, and each visit brings a new painting to life. In Houston's busy life, Bear Creek Park is a rare breath. El Paso is unlike any other city in Texas. Located at the intersection of Texas, New Mexico, and Mexico, it's a blend of three cultures, three climates, three ways of life. You'll hear Spanish in the city center, smell roasted chiles from the local markets, and see the Franklin Mountains rising in the distance. The Franklin Mountains aren't just a backdrop. They're the wild heart of El Paso. Winding trails lead to sweeping views where sunsets paint the sky in deep orange and shadows stretch like memory. Here, nature isn't something distant. It's woven into every heartbeat of the city. Next to Ciudad Juarez, El Paso isn't a city divided by the border. It's connected by it. Every day, people cross for work, study, and love. Mexican culture isn't over there. It's right here, in the food, the music, and the soul of this city. With over 300 sunny days a year, El Paso glows beneath a tireless sun. The skies stay high and clear, and the light makes everything shimmer, from desert sands to mural-covered walls. This is a city where sunlight never quits, and every morning feels like a fresh start. El Paso isn't just a city, it's a living museum. The Isleta mission, built in 1682, still holds services. Traditional markets, folkloric festivals, and the stories of the Tigua people continue to be passed down, keeping history alive and vibrant. The walls of El Paso know how to tell stories. Vivid murals depict migration, freedom, and pride. Every alleyway becomes an open gallery, where art isn't just something to look at, but something to feel, reflect on, and connect with. When night falls, El Paso becomes another world. Desert winds cool the air, stars fill the sky, and border lights twinkle like a man-made Milky Way. In this city, night isn't the end. It's a time to dream. El Paso isn't loud, and it doesn't rush. It grows slowly, staying true to itself, a city both strong and gentle. This isn't a place you just visit. It's a place you feel, remember, and come to love. The Llano River isn't as mighty as the Mississippi, but it holds its own magic. Crystal clear water flowing over pink granite, shimmering in the sun like scattered glass. Here, nature speaks in light and stillness. The Llano weaves through Texas hill country, where gentle hills meet endless sky. It winds past green fields, ancient rocks, and quiet towns. This river doesn't just water the land, it feeds memories. For thousands of years, people have gathered by the Llano. Today, it still draws families, fishers, and those seeking escape. The river hasn't changed much, and that's what makes it precious. In the town of Llano, an iron bridge stretches across the river like a living memory. Below it, kids swim, anglers cast lines, and sunsets spill gold on the water. Here, time slows down, and every minute feels full. In spring, the banks of the Llano burst into wildflowers, especially bluebonnets. Their purple-blue waves stretch down the shore, mirrored in the river, creating a scene only Texas can offer. It's no surprise people come to the Llano just to listen. Not roaring falls, but soft trickles and flowing rhythms. A quiet soundtrack for slow afternoons by the water. For adventurers, the Llano is a place to kayak, scramble over rocks, or find solitude for reflection. The river isn't just scenery, it's a journey, a quiet challenge for those seeking something deeper. Through dry summers and cold winters, the Llano keeps flowing, steady and patient, a reminder that true beauty is often simple and enduring. The river waits always for your return. The Franklin Mountains don't surround the city. They're part of it. From nearly every corner of El Paso, you can see their steep rising like natural walls. These aren't just landforms, they are spirit and presence. Beneath these mountains lie the footprints of people from thousands of years ago. Native tribes carved petroglyphs, hunted, and prayed in limestone caves. The Franklins aren't just scenery, they're witnesses to time itself. Hiking the Franklins is both a physical and spiritual ascent. Each step takes you farther from the city and closer to the sky. And when you reach the summit, El Paso shrinks below, while silence grows within. Each morning and evening, the sun paints the Franklins in brilliant shades of red, orange, and violet. The mountains seem to awaken under the light, shifting with every passing moment. Though dry and rugged, the Franklin Mountains are home to life. Rabbits, hawks, snakes, cacti, and wildflowers. A resilient ecosystem rising from rock and sun, much like the people who live nearby. Up here, there are no cars, no phones ringing. Only wind, your footsteps on gravel, and distant birdsong. It's the place where you can hear yourself most clearly, and finally listen. From the Franklin Peaks, you can see the Mexico border, not as a dividing line, but as a current of culture. From up here, there are no walls, only land, people, and stories flowing together. The Franklins aren't a place you visit once and forget. They're where you return when you need peace, when you need to breathe deeply and remember that you're small but fully alive. Austin is where live music plays in coffee shops, someone in cowboy boots shreds on an electric guitar, and street art covers every corner. It's not too old, not too futuristic, just unmistakably itself. A city that doesn't try to please, it just lives true. Lady Bird Lake isn't just a lake, it's Austin's natural heart. Locals jog along its edge, paddleboard at sunset, or simply watch the city lights ripple on the water. It's a forest-like stillness right in the middle of downtown. They call Austin the live music capital of the world, and they mean it. Every night, hundreds of stages echo with guitars, drums, and voices. No VIP tickets needed, just a heart that wants to move. In Austin, taco trucks park beside gourmet vegan cafes. Smoky BBQ and iced artisan coffee both have their place. Every dish is a blend, Texas roots and boundless curiosity on one plate. Zilker Park is Austin's green lung, spacious, breezy, and buzzing with life. On weekends, it fills with people tossing frisbees, strumming guitars, lounging in hammocks. An open space where everyone feels like they belong. South Congress isn't a polished avenue, it's Austin's quirky soul. Vintage shops, tiny cafes, sidewalk artists, and neon signs that glow with nostalgia. A street where every step is its own little discovery. Each summer evening, thousands of bats take flight from beneath Congress Bridge. The sky thickens, moving like a living cloud. Locals and tourists stand in awe, wildness unfolding in a perfectly urban place. Austin never tries to be anywhere else. It's weird, it's bold, and it's deeply real. Here, you get to be exactly who you are, and that's why people return again and again. Not crowded, not loud, Surfside is where you can hear the waves, the birds, and maybe even your own thoughts. A beach with no fuss, just sand, sea, and space to breathe. Here, you don't have to do anything, just be. The waves at Surfside don't crash. They pulse like the ocean's heartbeat. They roll in, then fade, leaving behind white foam and a quiet kind of peace. It's the sound that makes you take off your shoes, walk for miles, and never want to leave. As the sun rises over the horizon, its first light touches the sea, then dances across every grain of sand. Everything shimmers, glowing, brand new. At Surfside, every morning feels like the very first time you saw the ocean. In Surfside, you'll see fishermen in small boats, locals biking by the shore, and kids chasing the tide. Life moves slowly here. People have time to smile, to say hello, and to truly enjoy the moment they're in. Surfside doesn't need luxury resorts or crowded cafes. Its beauty is raw, open skies, salty breezes, and wild beach grass swaying along the horizon. It's a place still untouched, and that's its greatest charm. The long pier stretching into the sea is perfect for fishing, or just sitting and listening to the ocean's stories. Everyone comes here for something, a catch, a breeze, or simply a quiet moment with themselves. At Surfside, many kids touch the ocean for the first time, running from waves, building sandcastles, squealing as cold water meets their toes. This beach isn't just a place. It's the first memory of freedom for so many. In the end, Surfside doesn't try to impress you. It just waits, gently, patiently, with arms wide open. Each time you return, you feel a little lighter, a little quieter, a little sunnier inside. That's the magic of a simple beach. San Antonio isn't just a destination, it's a city where time leaves its mark on every stone and street. History here isn't locked in books, but alive in daily life, from the Alamo to the old missions. It's a place that makes you slow down and truly feel. The Alamo isn't just a landmark, it's the symbol of resilience and the fight for freedom. Though small in size, every stone holds the spirit of those who stood for something greater. You can't understand Texas without standing before the Alamo. The Riverwalk is San Antonio's romantic heart, a gentle stream winding between cafes, stone bridges, and leafy shadows. You can ride a boat, sip coffee by the water, or just walk and watch the sun dance on the surface. Here, the city softens. San Antonio is where Mexican culture shines, in the colors of El Mercado, in mariachi music echoing through plazas, and in the scent of fresh tamales. Two worlds blend here, not with borders, but with feeling. San Antonio is a city of memory and of hope. You can stand among century-old buildings and still feel the rhythm of modern life. It's a city that holds the past close, while always moving forward. The statue of Sam Houston on horseback stands tall in Herman Park. He didn't just fight for Texas, he helped define its soul. One man whose impact echoes far beyond his time. In 1836, Sam Houston won the Battle of San Jacinto in just 18 minutes. That moment didn't just change Texas history, it gave rise to an independent republic. The statue doesn't speak, but you feel it. Strength, belief in freedom, and quiet defiance. In modern-day Houston, he still whispers to those who stop and listen. The Sam Houston Monument isn't in a busy square. It stands among trees. A quiet space where the past doesn't need applause, only reflection. A place to slow down. Though he lived over 150 years ago, Sam Houston's spirit remains. Every time we look up at the statue, we're reminded, freedom isn't free, it needs protectors. Fort Worth hasn't forgotten its cowboy roots. You'll see riders downtown and hear the clink of spurs echo through the city. This isn't a museum, it's living history, still riding strong. At the stockyards, longhorn cattle still walk the street daily, like a live Western film. Saloons, wooden signs, cowboy hats, everything here is real and proud to be real. Fort Worth blends the old and the new. From the stockyards to downtown's gleaming towers, theaters, cafes, and jazz clubs, it's a city living in two timelines at once. In Fort Worth, being a cowboy isn't an act, it's a way of life. They really herd cattle, ride horses, and live with grit and independence. Not for show, but because it's who they are. At night, you'll hear guitars, fiddles, and steel guitar pouring from local bars. Country, blues, even Tex-Mex rock. In Fort Worth, every evening, plays a live Texas soundtrack. Right in cowboy country sits one of America's top modern art museums. Fort Worth doesn't just preserve the past, it invests in beauty, now and beyond. Outside downtown, Fort Worth unfolds in quiet neighborhoods, wooden houses, wide porches, Texas flags waving out front. It doesn't try to wow you, it doesn't show off. But if you slow down, listen, and let it in, you'll realize this isn't just a city, it's a real, lasting feeling. Corpus Christi isn't just a place by the sea, it's where the sea becomes part of life. From sunrise breakfasts to nights with waves whispering, the horizon here always feels open and calm. Soft sand, salt breeze, and an endless horizon, the beaches of Corpus aren't crowded or rushed. Just slow footsteps and a private sky, whether you're here to relax or reflect. The USS Lexington, a W-2 aircraft carrier, now floats as a living museum. Walk the decks, feel the steel, and step into stories told by the silent corridors of a different time. Beyond the beaches, Corpus is a sanctuary for migrating birds. In protected wetlands, you'll spot egrets, hawks, and a wilderness of color, raw and untouched. At night, the harbor bridge glows like a ribbon of light above the bay. It doesn't just connect two shores. It reminds you that wherever you're from, the sea welcomes with gentle brightness. Fresh oysters, grilled redfish, crispy shrimp, Corpus meals bring the ocean straight to your plate. Each dish is a journey, from salty breeze to sizzling flavor. In Corpus, no one's in too much of a rush. Locals smile more, move slower, and always pause to watch the harbor sunset. A place where you remember how to breathe and live fully. Corpus doesn't try to impress, it welcomes gently, honestly. Each visit leaves you quieter, lighter, and closer to who you really are. It's not a destination, it's a place you return to. Amid Houston's gleaming towers, Buffalo Bayou flows quietly. It doesn't shout or show off, but it's the lifeline that's nourished this city since its earliest days. Here, in 1836, Houston was born. Buffalo Bayou has witnessed the city grow, from a trading post to a bustling metropolis. This water doesn't just flow, it remembers. Lining the bayou are green parks, shaded trails, and calm waters. It's hard to believe, but right in the city's heart, you can hear birds, spot turtles, and feel time slow down. Bike it, run it, paddle it, or just sit and watch the sunset. Along Buffalo Bayou, every curve reveals a new postcard, part urban, part untamed. Calm by day, glowing at night, Buffalo Bayou never sleeps. It flows, it watches, and it connects people to nature, to history, and to each other. Bridges over the bayou, from stone to steel, link past and present. Beneath them flows a river that reminds us the city may change, but its roots remain. At sunset, golden light coats the bayou, turning it into a giant mirror. Everything feels slower. This is the moment the city breathes, and so do you. Whether dawn or midnight, Buffalo Bayou keeps flowing. It needs no spotlight, just space to move. Like Houston itself, quiet, powerful, always moving forward. Blanco River shimmers like jade under the Texas sun. Its waters are so clear you can see the riverbed, each white stone resting peacefully below. A beauty that makes you stop and breathe deeply. The river winds through ancient limestone, carving small falls and natural pools. Blanco doesn't roar. It murmurs gently, as if time itself slows to match its pace. At sunrise, Blanco River hides beneath a light mist. Sunlight filters through oak branches, casting soft reflections. Nature whispers in this moment, and all you need to do is listen. Kids leap from rocks, adults float beneath the trees. On Blanco River, you don't need a water park, just one cool current, and laughter flows with it. The town of Blanco hugs the river, with limestone buildings, bakeries, and Texas flags flapping in the breeze. Life here flows slow and close, just like the river beside it. Old oaks line the Blanco's banks, offering deep shade. You could spend the whole afternoon in a hammock, reading, listening to birds and water, forgetting the rush beyond. In spring, wildflowers bloom. In summer, children swim. In fall, red leaves drift downstream. In winter, the river sleeps. Blanco is always changing, yet always poetic. Sitting beside this river, things become simple. You don't need much to feel peace. Just time, clear water, and a quiet place to hear yourself again. When you leave the river, the beach, or that Texas town, what stays isn't the place, it's the feeling. A beam of light, a bird's call, a quiet moment, the small things stay with you the longest. Texas isn't just a place on a map, it's a state of mind. A feeling of freedom, space, and connection. You might visit once, but it stays with you forever. Sometimes we travel not to find something new, but to remember what we've forgotten: peace, natural beauty, and our true selves. Every journey is a way home, deeper home. Wherever you are, let your spirit flow like the river, gently but surely. The journey never really ends, it just continues, with a quieter heart. Thank you for traveling with us across Texas, through every frame, every word. If you carry anything from this journey, let it be connection to nature, to others, and to yourself.